Donnie and Dolly, the team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
Now you don't have my mic up.
Boy,
like, what is
boy.
wrong? What is wrong with you today? It was like 5 seconds into the segment. What, like?
You are having a rough week. You know what you got to play right now? A Manic Monday by the Bengals.
Except it's not Monday,
but you know what I mean.
We're getting a lot of this. Okay.
I have the power. That's the best part. I have the power.
Okay. Gopi the goalie. Why are we taking Sasquatch pictures of Hamonic? We're getting a lot of that. People thinking that
Bigfoot.
Shot of Hamonic.
Hamonic looks like
It was
Bigfoot.
so far in the distance.
Yeah.
It's so unfocused. Nothing against Patrick Johnson's
I just texted
photography abilities, but it could have been anybody. It could have been anything, including Bigfoot.
I just texted Patrick Johnson
See
in
that picture
Abbotsford.
again,
He
right?
feels bad. He says, I feel shame. Post that picture up again. Horrible picture.
Here it is again. This
You know
was,
what?
This morning, ahead of Abbotsford
Travis
Canuck
Hamonic right
practice.
there. That looks like a Bigfoot Sasquatch, far away. Like, I mean, this is what we're getting in the Delaney's OK Tire and Langley inbox. Like, come on,
I
Patrick.
think the last sighting of Bigfoot was in Abbotsford.
Go to ice level. Go to that entrance and then take the picture. Hey, Travis, how you doing? Good to see you back in town.
Yeah, but you got to remember COVID restrictions and such.
Yeah.
Well, he's
can't go.
obviously up in seat 700 in the rafters.
Jeff's turn?
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
Let's
get to Jeff Paterson from Sekeres and Price. Canucks lose their home opener to the Wild. Jeff, thanks for doing this. How are you?
I'm good, guys. That picture looks like Patrick's still in the Rogers Arena press box taking the photo in Abbotsford.
Yeah. Did you expect more energy from the Canucks, Jeff, last night?
I did. I mean, it was so good to have people back in the seats last night, Donnie. Like, it was fun from the anthems and the introduction. And, yeah, I think we all expect that the home team is always just going to feed off that energy and emotion. And yet you look at the home openers the Canucks played out on the road trip. They got a single point out of Edmonton. They beat Philadelphia. They spoiled the party in Seattle on Saturday night. So Minnesota comes to town, and I heard you guys talking about 3 and 4 for them with a little bit of travel. And full credit to the Minnesota Wild. I thought that was an impressive performance. I know we're focused on the Canucks and what they didn't do, but there are two teams out there. The final 2 minutes, like the Canucks get the goal from Horvat, that got the people that were still there that hadn't fled for the exits yet. They were into it. There was 4.5 minutes. You saw the Canucks come back in Seattle the other night. The final couple of minutes, though, just an absolute clinic of forechecking and up ice pressure. The Canucks couldn't get Thatcher Demko out of the net for an extra attacker until there was only a minute to go. Usually coaches in today's NHL try to get the goalie out with a couple of minutes to maximize their opportunities, but Minnesota was having none of it. And then when the Canucks did get Demko to the bench, they couldn't set up, couldn't generate anything. For me, and Rick, I heard you mention 2 shots early in the hockey game.
Yeah.
The bigger concern for me, guys, was the third period. The Canucks had 5 shots on goal.
That's it.
On goal.
Yeah.
You're down, you're within striking distance, you've shown an ability to come back in your last game. Like, how come you can't replicate that with your fans behind you? They had 17 even strength shots on the night, 24 shots total. Like, that's not enough. And so, Travis Green, I think he was trying to be measured without absolutely, just obliterating his team, because he did that in Buffalo last week. You can't do it on a weekly basis. But you could tell he was chafing after the hockey game. And it really is the point now is this even strength offense that just isn't there for the Canucks. Only 11 5-on-5 goals through their first 7 games. And sure, it's easy to point at Elias Pettersson, and he has to be a whole lot better. But JT Miller only has a goal. Like, Miller's got points, but JT Miller scored in Philadelphia when Pettersson scored in Philadelphia. That was 5 games ago. So it's not just Pettersson. Yes, he has to be better, but the lotto line – it's not happening. And I'm as surprised as anybody, because I thought, Travis Green could explore and experiment with some of the other line combinations, knowing that he has the lotto line card to play. And yet when he's gone to them, all they do is sort of tread water, which is so unlike the way they performed 2 seasons ago in Miller's first year here. So it is concerning. I'm not saying it's alarming yet, but I don't know how they can watch these first 7 games and not think that something is off with the Vancouver Canucks' best players.
Elias Pettersson, you touched on him there. Travis Green described his performance as average. Would you agree? And what are you seeing out there?
Yeah, I think that's a substandard performance for Elias Pettersson. I know he got the assist on the chase on goal, so a point is good, but that was a game that was begging for the Canucks game breakers. I mean, it is a tight hockey game. We see a lot of those through the season, 3-2, and that was a night where just a little bit something more from any of those Canucks top players, and maybe they force it to overtime, take your chances, get a single point, and perhaps you're able to grab both. But it just, for me, it's the lack of sort of that flash, that magic that he just made it look so easy in his first couple of seasons in the NHL. And right now, I don't know if he's overthinking it, but this is a supremely skilled player, remarkably talented. And then to hear him on Monday when he met the media here in Vancouver after the road trip, and he talks about dumbing it down and simplifying. And I get it, because that's hockey speak, but this is also one of the few artists that the Vancouver Canucks have. Like, I don't know that I want Elias Pettersson going back to paint by numbers, but whatever it takes for him to find his game and to get his confidence back, if that does mean simplifying things in the early going, but use your teammates. I remember Alain Vigneault used to say that about Ryan Kessler, trying to do way too much. Use your line mates. That's what they're out there for. And whatever the case, I get that it's still early, but this team can't afford many more games where Elias Pettersson's a non-factor, JT Miller's not doing a whole lot, Brock Besser isn't cashing in on his chances. And so, it's a homestand. There's an opportunity here. Travis Green loves to chase matchups. He can try to dictate where he gets his guys out there. But ultimately, it's on the players. And the players have to perform. And all of a sudden, the stakes go up here. Philadelphia is in on Thursday, and then you get Edmonton on Saturday. Like, they can't afford many of these opportunities to go by the wayside. So, put a little bit of importance, I think, on this game against Philadelphia. They've beaten them once already this season, and the Canucks need points. 500 is not going to get it done at the end of the season, guys. And sort of chasing 500, if you fall behind and off the pace, it's a tough league to come back in. But ultimately, 500 hockey isn't going to get it done. So they got to chip away, and they got to put points in their back pocket here. This homestand seems like a great opportunity, but they're going to have to play a whole lot better than they did last night against Minnesota.
Jeff, where are you with Podkolzin? 6 minutes last night after 2 healthy scratches. The number one thing for everybody concerned is his development, and he's developed properly. Where are you with him right now?
Yeah, I mean, it would seem like Patrick Johnson could have put him in the car. They could use the HOV lane, get him out to Abbotsford there, but it's tough. Like, Podkolzin must be feeling like he's right back in Russia, even though he's made the jump.
Yeah, that's it.
Last year in the KHL, this guy dressed and he could never play. Guys, 6 minutes of ice time, that's one thing. He had 2 shifts over the final 28 minutes of the hockey game.
Yikes.
And Travis Green shortens the bench, and it was Podkolzin, it was Bailey, and it was Chason, essentially the 3 that didn't play much in the third period. But you know what that means when you shorten a bench and you're missing Dickinson and you're missing Dowling? Like, Lamico got 4 minutes of ice time in the third period. Highmore got 4 minutes of third period ice time, and there was no penalty killing. It was all at even strength. And so those guys were playing. Are you telling me that at this stage, like, Juho Lamico and Matthew Highmore represent a better chance of offense than Vasily Podkolzin, who roofed that puck in Philadelphia for his first NHL goal? I don't get it. I know Travis has explained it, that when a guy sits for a while, sometimes he doesn't feel it's fair to the player to all of a sudden tap him and get him out there. Podkolzin would go through the boards to get out on the ice, to get an opportunity to play in front of the home fans, to be a game breaker, to maybe get that goal that the Canucks needed. So I am a little concerned just in terms of utilization, and I get bringing them along slowly. And Canuck fans have been spoiled because so many rookies here recently have stepped right in and have been productive off the hop. I don't think Podkolzin's playing poorly. I just want to see this guy get more of an opportunity. His high watermark for ice time is 12 minutes in that Buffalo game, and that's when the game was getting away from the Vancouver Canucks, and so he was able to play there. But it's pretty clear right now that when Travis Green shortens the bench in third period situations, Vasily Podkolzin is going to be one of the odd men out.
Very quickly, Jeff, we saw Travis Hamonic, we think, on the ice in Abbotsford. The injury to Pullman, what are the plans for Hamonic? What's your best guess?
Well, it's an off day for the Canucks today, so I don't imagine that we're going to get much of an update on Tucker Pullman, but he leaves midway through the second. All of a sudden, Kyle Burroughs has been a nice story, but Kyle Burroughs playing 19 minutes because it was him and Myers as the right side guys that remained. That's too much. It was a struggle for both Burroughs and Rathbone last night. And Hamonic's not going to be ready anytime soon. So if Pullman is out, all of a sudden you're going to run with a right side that is Tyler Myers, Kyle Burroughs, and Luke Shen. look, there were questions about the right side in the summertime when Hamonic and Poolman were two of the top three guys there. So that has to be a concern for Hamonic. First and foremost, the fact that he is here in Abbotsford, we think that was him, on skates, trying to resume his career. For Travis Hamonic, the person that tells me that he must be in a decent headspace. And again, we don't know all of the stories behind why he wasn't here at the start of the season, but the fact that he's looking to resume his career, that's a positive. So I like that part. As far as him getting up to speed, this is a guy that didn't have a training camp last year, joined the Canucks on the eve of the season, and really struggled out of the gate. Well, no camp, no preseason, first 7 games of the season, and who knows when he's ready. They could be 15 games into this thing. He's going to be playing catch-up, and it's going to be difficult. We saw it a year ago. I think it'll be even more so because so many guys are going to be that much further ahead of him in terms of catching up to the speed of the game. But when you look at what the Canucks have and what they don't have on defense, I still think that Travis Hamonic represents an upgrade to the guys that they currently have. So I think they can use him. But, boy, it's going to be interesting to watch his development here over the next couple of weeks. How many games would he need in the American Hockey League to find his footing to get up to games again? So glad to see he's back on the ice, but I think the hard work is starting right now for him to be able to get back to NHL form.
Jeff, thanks for this. Talk to you next week.
Okay, guys, thank you.